Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, happy Saturday morning. Top of the morning to all of you. I hope you're doing well and enjoying the weekend. Well, first of all, good morning to all our viewers, Saturday morning, and good afternoon to all our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown at Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. And for our listeners, if you ever want to check us out and you are able to get us on Spectrum, we're on channel 1301. And if you still can't find us there, you can always go to YouTube, and we are stored there forever and ever and ever. All of our 200 and, I don't know how many shows we got there, Justin? 250, 260?
I believe so.
He's my statistician.
No, 59.
259 shows are there. So we're finishing up our 5th year, and we're excited that you could join us today. Okay, we've got a great show in store for you, so I'm not going to tell you what it's all about, but I'm going to tell you it could save your life. So please do stay with us. All right, few little things I want to talk about real quick, and then we have some community announcements. Right off the bat, let's go to Florida. My little grandson Rowan is 2 years old today, and I know that his family watches us on YouTube. So happy birthday, Rowan. I'll talk to you later today. How can you not love that face, Emerald? What a cutie pie. You see him right there? All right. So anyways, cute little boy, and hopefully he's going to visit us this fall. I want to give a shout out to everybody that participated last night over at the Pinehurst Golf Course for the Westfield Mayville Rotary Chips, Putts, and Pints competition. I know you all are wondering how did it all go, because I was talking about me and my brother were gonna like head to head. I took second place. I actually did pretty well. The person that won first place was actually one of the co-owners of the golf course, so I figured I did pretty good for just never golfing. And we had a good turnout, and we're going to hopefully build this thing so every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But lots of fun, and if we talk about this next year, I hope that you will join us. Okay, Randall, I looked up the weather today, and only one thing popped up, like the number 62. So I wasn't sure if it was the wind speed, if it was the amount of rain we've gotten so far this year, or the temperature, because it's all applicable. Yesterday, some of us were riding. I was talking with Jeff, and we were trying to get ready for the ride for Roswell. Speaking of which, I have my helmet here. And to remind you that we are still collecting donations, the Chautauqua Sunrisers. There we are. And if you go to Ride for Roswell and you go to their website, look up Riders or the Chautauqua Sunrisers, you find our names, you can click on it and make your donation right online. So we're not going to be here next week live. We're going to have a show, though. It's going to be another good show. And but we were riding, Jeff and I. Were you riding yesterday, Randall? No, you were smart. You just stayed home. The winds were so strong, it was just pushing us way back, and it was really difficult to ride, but it was getting our legs ready and stamina for our 34-mile country ride in Clarence and Buffalo, Amherst, I guess, all that stretch. So anyways, we're looking forward to doing that next Saturday for a great cause to work on cancer research. Okay, let's see. I mentioned next week, so those of you that are watching and listening right now, next week I have Brenda Burdick coming on, and she's going to be talking about lymphedema, and it's already a pre-taped show. It's in the can. It's in the other room waiting to jump onto the cable here. But it's a really good show, and I really encourage you to watch that as well. I mentioned this show can save your life. Next week, it'll, I don't know if it's going to save your life, but it's going to make your life a lot better if you have to deal with lymphedema or have somebody in your family that does. Okay. Want to do a shout out to my new friends over in Cassadaga, the Cassadaga Seniors. I had an opportunity to play for them last week and just had a great time. So thanks for having me out there, and look forward to seeing you again. And while we're talking about music and playing, Will and I will be playing at the Great Discovery Center right there in Westfield from 5 to 8 this Wednesday for their Wine With Us Wednesday, and that's always a lot of fun. So if you have nothing to do, it's free of charge. You could buy a little wine and some soft drinks, snacks, whatever, and we're going to be playing. So please join us this Wednesday. And then the next day, job I've never done before. Emerald, you're going to love this. You're going to come to this. Will and I are playing for the school picnic. They have an elementary picnic, but it's open to the whole community. And I think we're going to be playing out in the grass as long as it's not raining or storming. So that's going to be from 5 to 7 at the Ripley Central School. So we got double duty this week, so that'll be great. And Justin, I know you cannot believe us. You don't know this, but Justin is a culinary artist. I mean, he studied food and cooking preparation. Do you know what today is? Today is National Lobster Day. What could be better? I had to double check my facts. I said, what?
Bacon Day.
Bacon Day?
Yeah, that's
Well,
better.
it's Happy Lobster Day, National Lobster Day. So if you're interested, get out there and have a lobster. Okay, enough for that. Let's get to some community announcements. And hey guys, you kind of let me down. I'm only down to 4 pages this week. Usually I got like 11 or 12. We've announced so many different things this spring already. It's amazing what goes on here in Chautauqua County. And this is just a sampler. Okay, first off, we're going to go to Jamestown to my good friends at Infinity Performing Arts. And this is just a shout out to all my fellow musicians. I believe they're still looking for local musicians to participate in the 16th annual Local Music Showcase. It's going to be held on September 7th from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. the following day. Musicians are like that. We play into the wee hours of the night sometimes. This is a great fundraiser. And if you're willing to donate an hour, a set basically of your time, they'll hook you up with a venue, and you play for free. And people come to see you. They pay ahead of time, like with a wristband and that sort of thing. And music is all over the city of Jamestown that day. And you can stand out on the street and you can hear music from everywhere. It's a great, great evening. If you're interested, give them a call at 664-0991. Okay? All right. This one is kind of interesting. This is called Mornings on Main. The Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce will once again visit local businesses during their Mornings on Main walking tours. All right, now they've done a few up till now, but the only one left is in Fredonia. And on June 18th, they're going to be out there walking about looking for potential members, and then real registered members are going to be talking with other businesses to try to rally the other folks to join the Chamber of Commerce. The membership drive will then conclude on June 20th with a 5 p.m. business after hours cruise aboard the Chautauqua Belle. Departing from the McCree Point in Jamestown. All new and current members are welcome to attend. For more information, check out their online events calendar, and that's the Chautauqua Chamber of Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce. Okay, I mentioned here a second ago a Wine With Us Wednesday, and that's going to be held every Wednesday, not just the days I'm going to be playing with Will there, but every week they feature a wine, and it's $4 a glass, light snacks, and if you're interested, you can just give them a call there at the Grape Discovery Center. All right, moving right along here. This one is Sip and Sample. This is going to be an event called Berries and Cherries. And it says, enjoy berry and cherry flavors from Sparkling Ponds Winery, Willow Creek Winery, Woodbury Vineyards, and Jack's Barcelona Drive-In. There's going to be live music, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., featuring Vile Habits, an old-time string band. Featuring Cocktail of the Day is going to be called a Concord Cherry Breeze. $10 donation at the door. Reserve your ticket today. If you're interested, give them a call at 326-2003 and talk with Christina, the manager there. Okay, so this is featuring the wineries in that particular neck of the woods. We have wineries everywhere here in Chautauqua County, and I know that they are more than happy to have you come in and sample their wines. And Chautauqua County is really bursting with opportunities for a little wine tour, and they have little snacks and that sort of thing. So you can make a great day of just touring Chautauqua County, just following the wine trail. Okay, the next one here is coming up. Wow, we talked about this a while back, and it's not far away. The annual Fly-In Breakfast. Now, this isn't the kind that you swat. This is an airplane. They're flying in. Their 55th annual, wow, Fly-In Breakfast. This is being sponsored by the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary. It's going to be held Sunday, July 7th from 8 a.m. to noon. It's going to be held at the Chautauqua County Dunkirk Airport on Middle Road. And the note says, pilots eat free. Randy, you got a plane? No, you got to pay. You got to pay. All right, so this is a great fundraiser, and if you know anything about any Rotary Club, and especially the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club, they do great work in the community, and the proceeds go back into the community to help so many different projects. All right, the next one, The Curse of the Comet. Our very own Emerald Weish will be starring in this production. There she is. She's up front in the picture there in the green outfit. What is your role again? You're a flirtatious what? A flirtatious scientist. They don't seem like they go together. So,
Believe me.
the Ripley Library Players presents Curse of the Comet on July 11th at 6 p.m. at the Pine Junction Restaurant in Sherman, New York. Tickets are $40. That's a good deal when you think that a lot of times you got to pay almost $15 just for a show. Plus you get your meal, which includes a full meal of either chicken, fish, or steak, but there's a cash bar, of course. Benefits the Ripley Library Building Fund. And as we've mentioned in the past, the library is doing a lot of renovations. They have a matching grant that they got to raise their match for, and so this will help. Give them a call at 736-3913, 736-3913 if you'd like to attend. Sounds like a fun evening. All right, now another big event coming up that's been going on for quite a few years. The Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation will host its 27th annual golf tournament. With the Westfield Memorial Hospital medical staff proudly serving as its major sponsor. The tournament will be held on Friday, July 12th at the Chautauqua Golf Club, located in Chautauqua, New York. Consider joining the fun as the foundation celebrates its 41st anniversary in July. So the 27th golf tournament, but the foundation's been around for 41 years. An early bird special is available to all those who sign up before June 20th. So you just got a few more days that you can get in a little better price. Participants will enjoy golf on the beautiful lake course with breakfast, lunch, a steamed and raw clam tent, yum, a cocktail reception, and a prime rib dinner. Holy mackerel. I'd fall asleep before I even golf. An array of prize opportunities will be available for a variety of contests. The Schultz Auto Group is providing a variety of prizes for a golfer lucky enough to score a hole-in-one. I sunk a hole-in-one last night. Of course, it was only 6 feet away, but it was a putting contest, but I was the only one. Imagine that. Registration begins at 10 a.m. with a noon shotgun start. Many sponsorship opportunities are available for those wishing to show their support. I will be there selling raffle tickets, as I have for a number of years. As in the past, the Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation is holding a raffle in conjunction with the golf tournament. You see me for these tickets. This year's prizes include an electric bicycle. Randy, this could be for when we, not yet. A few more years we might need it. LG 55-inch HD smart TV, a Yeti cooler with accessories. It has nothing to do with Pete Weimer and I Saw Bigfoot. This is the name of the company, Yeti. A 3-piece wrought iron patio set, a stand-up paddle board, ooh, that could be fun, and a cast stone fire pit. Tickets are sold at the hospital's front desk right now, at the Westfield Farmers Market on Saturday mornings, and at the actual golf tournament where I will be sitting with tickets in hand ready to take your money. The funds raised from this year's tournament will benefit, of course, the Westfield Memorial Hospital. For more information on the foundation, the golf tournament, or anything else, give them a call, Patty DePalma, at 793-2338. Again, 716-793-2338. Or you can email her at patricia.depalma@ahn.org. Okay, and then a couple more, and then we're done. 6th Annual Family Fun Day. This is a mark your calendar. It's not until August, but it's always good to mark it on your calendar. Chautauqua Center has scheduled its 6th Annual Family Fun Day in recognition of National Health Center Week for Friday, August 9th in Dunkirk. Once again, they anticipate a large turnout of the community members and their families, as well as local organizations in attendance. The center has quickly grown, as we've already seen in our discussions here. They currently have 6 sites open, which include their administration offices, 2 in Jamestown, and they're waiting to open up their new site with a grand opening, and they have 4 sites in Dunkirk. So then they have primary care, behavioral health, dental, and pharmacy for services both in Dunkirk and Jamestown, and on and on. And they do all kinds of great work there. If you're interested in participating in this event or want more information about the Chautauqua Center, give them a call at 484-4334, 484-4334. And finally, I have a little announcement for Destination Chautauqua, which is a show that broadcasts various public events, and is directed and hosted by, directed by Chris Burt, and I'll be hosting once again, and maybe I can get Rick Mascaro to join me. But on July 4th, we're going to do, once again, the Mayville 4th of July Parade. So stay tuned for that, and that's going to be live that day, and then they'll be put on YouTube later on. Okay, so I think that's all I have for now. So we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter, a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Okay, we're back, and we live in a beautiful area of the world. We have, I think it's 3 major, 4 lakes that I can think of. We got Cassadaga Lake, got Finley Lake, Chautauqua Lake, and Lake Erie. There's probably another lake I can't think of. Bear Lake?
Bear Lake.
Bear Lake. All right. What's this? What does that mean? 0 lakes? I mentioned Finley Lake. We got that one. Well, anyways, there's at least 5 lakes or more in Chautauqua County. And just like anything else, there's the rules of being on the lake and so forth. And Randy actually suggested that we do this show today with his contacts. So I'm very happy to talk about boat safety today with Ro Woodard. And good morning and welcome to the show.
Well, good morning. I'm pleased to be here. We could be more fun if we were out on the lake boating, but being here is the next best.
Yeah, I've always thought, what would it be like to be boating with Randy? That would be a trip. He's ready. He's all set. So I'm not exactly sure how this all came together. So do you know Randy or?
Randy and I went to school together. I think he graduated with my sister.
Okay.
So at Faulkner Central School.
Oh, so there's a connection.
So it goes
there.
way back, and then we've done the ferry together.
Okay, very, very good. Oh, that's right, Captain Randy. Is that running yet?
Not yet. Still,
not yet.
We still under repair.
Okay.
We're hopeful to be out here at some point this summer, but still under repair.
I knew it had some health issues. So okay, well that's a really cool thing to do. Okay, so I don't know anything about you, Ro, up till today, other than that you went to school at Randy and you're from Faulkner, and I knew your dad. So, how did you get involved with boating and safety? I mean, is that something you grew up thinking, I want to do this, or how's that work?
Well, the fact that I did it professionally for New York State Parks, which is the boating safety office for the state, that was kind of a fortuitous accident, but I've always loved boating. Grew up boating on Chautauqua Lake. I'm a native of Faulkner.
Okay.
And grew up boating with my dad. Gotta give Dad a nod that he's watching today, and
Hey,
he's saying,
Robert.
still talking boating. But he was a big fisherman, and he had Chautauqua Lake double enders.
What does that mean?
They're handmade boats on Chautauqua Lake that looks like a canoe but rows like a boat. And it's actually specific kind of boat that is on Chautauqua Lake.
What do you call that, double enders?
Chautauqua Lake double enders.
Is that
Yep.
specifically the Chautauqua Lake?
Well, there's different styles. I would say you have to get somebody from the Lawson Center to come in and chat about
now,
those.
you said there's something at the Lawson Center that your dad has on display?
Yeah. My dad said that he liked boats, but he was also a big fisherman. He caught the largest muskie on Chautauqua Lake in 1965.
And that record still holds?
And well, it was that year.
Oh, that year.
That was the biggest one that year. And we just recently donated it to the Lawson Center.
Very cool.
And so his lovely fish is there for everybody to enjoy. So
And for those that don't know the Lawson Center, it's in Bemis Point?
in Bemis Point.
And it's a boat museum.
Yeah,
basically.
wooden boat museum, and fabulous stuff if you like wooden boats, if you like outboard motors,
Yeah.
boating history. It's right on the lake.
Very cool. Yeah.
So-
Now, and I mentioned I played there. I don't remember what the reason was. Has it been open for a long time?
4 or 5 years, I guess.
Then it must have been when the grand
Yeah.
openings,
It-
something like that I played.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, okay. So, how did you get involved with this aspect of as a career? I mean, you're in Faulkner, and the offices are in Albany, and I mean, we're in Chautauqua County, which is the farthest county from the real world out there.
That's right. Albany doesn't even know we exist.
don't. I knew that as a superintendent.
I always like to say that Chautauqua County is the real Western New York. But no, I have just recently returned to Faulkner.
Okay, so all these years you worked out in Albany?
Worked out of the Albany office for my career. Had been out there for about 35 years.
Oh.
Had always wanted to return home, and when I retired, I said to my husband, I said, well, I'm going home. You can come with me. and he did. So we've been happy.
That makes a good marriage that way.
Oh, yeah. We relocated in October of last year, and have been loving it being back in the county and doing all the things that we love about the county.
Brings back a lot of good memories, I bet, too.
It's fun. It's home.
So you're in Albany talking about boat safety. So what did you do?
Well, I was the boating safety educator for the Marine Services Bureau,
All right.
which is a bureau of New York State Parks,
I mean, okay.
and we do recreational boating safety.
So you went around doing courses?
That we were out of the Albany office,
Okay.
but we went around the state, and
okay,
and I did
gotcha.
the education component. The other big components of our Marine Service Bureau are law enforcement. And so we do law enforcement training. We also put out the buoys and navigation markers on Soul State waters, which are the waters that are owned completely by New York State. And then we have our marine inspectors, which inspect all the commercial vessels. So if they're taking passengers and charging, they're inspected by New York State
So
Parks.
in this case, it would be Chautauqua Bell, it would be the
ferry, Chautauqua Bell, the Summer Wind.
Summer Wind.
Yeah. And then we also license the operators, so they have a public vessels permit, operator's license.
All right, so this is really the overseer of boating and water safety in New York State.
Yeah, it's the recreational boating safety. Is that we're looking after the people who, the only reason that we boat is we want to have fun, and our function was to make sure that people had fun, because a safe day on the water never ruined a fun day.
Okay.
And I did the educational aspects of it.
So you would go from city to city or county to county? How did that work?
I kind of oversaw some basic things. One of the big parts of Marine Services is the New York Safe Boating Course, which is an 8-hour classroom course, which leads to a boating safety certificate. And there's many people who legally have to have that in order to operate their vessel. And then it's a good idea that anybody who boats has a boating safety certificate, because there's things you want to know.
All right, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Now, you said certain people have to have this boating safety certificate, like, for instance?
All right, so if you are born, currently if you're born on or after May 1st, 1996, you're required to have a boating safety certificate to operate a motorboat.
What? So if you're born on April 30th, you don't?
You're safe, yeah, so.
Really?
So we're probably safe, yeah. That was the way that the law was determined at this point.
All right. I'm marking the sand.
Yeah,
Here
mark
it
in the
is.
sand. You're either
Once-
have
one way
to
the
or
other.
not have to.
Okay.
And actually, the boating safety program in New York State is one of the oldest mandatory education programs in the state. It began in 1959.
Oh.
And I know that there's listeners out there who are thinking, I took that course. It was the Make Sure Young Boater Safety course.
All right.
And I took it. I took it way back in 1967. And that meant that you could drive a boat without adult supervision. It was for 10 to 18-year-olds.
Wow.
And then it ratcheted up to anybody born on or after May 1st, 1996 is required to have it. And we'll have to watch the news. My understanding from talking with the Marine Services Bureau recently, just to make sure I was up on everything because I'm retired, is that the legislature and the Senate have passed a new mandatory boating safety education bill, but it's waiting the governor's signature. And that would require all of us who operate a motorboat on the waters of New York State to have a boating safety certificate.
Okay, and that's what you and Jeff were talking about prior to the show.
Yep.
Okay, so I need to ask this question because my brother and I were talking about you coming on the show, and he threw something at me, and I said, I don't know, I'm going to ask this question. So when you say mandatory safety boating course, what constitutes the vehicle? Just
Okay.
a boat, a canoe, a what?
That's a good question. It's the mandatory law is for motorboats. So if it has an engine, whether it's gasoline or electric or propane or diesel, then it's a motorboat. So you would then be required to have boating education. You know, currently there's no mandatory education for people who are sailboaters or people who are in paddlecraft, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, rowboats, canoes.
Now,
So it's a good idea
Yeah,
for
makes
everybody to have an education so you know how to interact with all the boaters out on the water.
So the question then my brother posed to me, knowing that this law was possible, jet skis.
Well, jet skis actually has their own mandatory education law.
Oh, it's all separate.
Yep, it's all separate. And that actually was fully enacted in 2000.
Okay.
So we've had mandatory education for anybody on a personal watercraft, which is a jet ski, Sea-Doo, Wave Runner. Everybody is required to have a boating safety certificate in order to operate them. And there's a minimum age of 14. So if you take a boating safety course, you can take it at age 10.
Okay.
Because you can operate a motorboat at age 10, and what the certificate means is without adult supervision. But if you take it at age 10, you can operate the motorboat, and we always say for kids, with the permission of mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever owns the boat needs to make sure that you can safely operate and know how to do it. New York State says you can because of your boating safety certificate. But with that card, you'll have to wait to your 14th birthday before you can operate a personal watercraft.
Okay. So with the jet skiing, so you got to be 14. You have to have a safety certificate.
Correct.
All
Yep.
right. So here's the question that just came through on my earpiece. So I'm from Ohio. I'm visiting. I'm 15 years old or whatever, and I go to Joe's rental place, and he's got jet skis. Can I rent it?
That's a whole different piece. When you're talking stuff on boats, nothing is simple. So and that's why you want to take a boating safety course, because you'll learn all those things.
Right.
So if you want to rent a personal watercraft, a jet ski, in New York State, you can. If you have a boating safety certificate, you can rent one. You have to be a minimum age of 18. No, I believe I'm going to correct myself. Is 16. However, if you don't have a boating safety certificate and would like to rent one, you have to be a minimum age of 18, and you'll have to fulfill something that's a requirement on the livery. You have to stay within 500 feet of an escort vessel or 2,500 feet of the livery itself. If you have a boating safety certificate, then you can go wherever you want to go.
How do you keep track of all these little regs? They're constantly, get your book.
The New York State Boater's
Your
Guide
Bible.
will tell you all these kind of things. So if people are boaters and haven't, if you're hearing new things, take a boating safety course, also stop and get a boater safety guide. You can get these at marinas around the county.
Okay, so with tomorrow being Father's Day, happy Father's Day, everybody. And maybe there's something under the Father's Day Christmas tree tomorrow, like a jet ski or a boat or something or other that's motorized. And all of a sudden you realize you got to get the certificate now. So how much does it cost?
Well, to get your certificate, it kind of depends on there's some choices.
All right.
And people, to find a boating safety course, need to go to the New York State Parks website. So it's parks.ny.gov.
Okay.
And that's the best place to go to get your boating safety information in New York State. And there we have a list of our classroom courses. And classroom courses can be offered at no cost, or they may have a cost, because we have boating safety instructors that are certified through the state. And those folks can be volunteers and give a course at no cost, or they can run it as their own business.
Here in Chautauqua County, where do they traditionally offer these courses?
Okay. I looked that up before I came because I thought that would be a question.
We did not discuss these questions ahead of time.
But New York State Parks in Chautauqua County are offering boating safety courses. Matter of fact, you're missing one today at Sunset Bay Marina, which is a operation that's overseen by New York State Parks. They're offering one today. There'll also be one at Midway on July 15th. And that's no cost because it's offered by the staff at Midway. Other courses, there also Chautauqua Marina in Mayville offers courses regularly. There'll be a cost for those. All the courses are the same material. All the instructors are certified by New York State, teaching exactly what you need to know for New York State waters. And if those two courses are not convenient for you, you go to the parks website and you can find the classroom courses. Online courses are also acceptable, and the companies which are authorized by New York State are on the New York State Parks website.
And there you find it there.
And you'll find them there. There's 6 different companies, so you can choose whichever one you want. There's a cost to all of those.
Okay, sure. Now, I know some real boneheads. They get out on the lake, and they have their motorboat, and they say, I've been boating all my life. I don't need no stupid certificate. And they're out there boating. And what happens if someone asks them for their certificate, like law enforcement?
Okay. Well, we got great law enforcement. The Chautauqua County Sheriffs out on the water do a fabulous job. Most of them are boating safety instructors also, so people may have they've already done their courses. They're done in May usually. That you're required by law, if you're required by law to have your certificate, and they have stopped you, and they stop you because you're probably doing something wrong. It's just like being out on the road, that they just can't stop you for the heck of it. They stop you and you're on a personal watercraft. They're going to ask you for your boating safety certificate, and you have to produce it.
So you have to have it on your body.
You have to have it
when you're in the boat.
You have to have it with you, and that's how you prove that you have boating
Okay,
safety.
well, that's good to know.
There's no central database. It's unlike our driver's license where you can leave it at home and the police can look you up.
Like your fishing license, you got to have it with you.
They're going to ask you for it, and
Good to
you're
know.
going to have to show it to them. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a plastic card, so it'll.
Oh, perfect.
It won't melt in the water. It doesn't float though, but it's good for the water.
But if you don't have it on you, and you don't have one, you get a fine?
You can be ticketed and fined. Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. We talked about the general stuff now. You came here to talk about safety. So let's get into safety. What do you want to talk about?
Okay.
You got this really cool looking thing on.
I got this cool looking thing. I just wanted all the viewers to see that
Very fashionable today.
life jackets look good. They're comfortable. I can sit through a whole interview wearing it and survive.
Okay, if you would just move your drink way off to one side or the other. Evidently, it's getting caught up in the.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
There
we go. But we could conclude our interview right now and go out and enjoy a boat ride. If people would just really heed three little words: wear your life jacket. And one of the big things that I did with New York State Parks was what's called the Wear It program, which is actually a national program.
Is that right behind
And
you?
that's our banner there, right behind you.
Maybe we can, here we go.
Encouraging people to just wear your life jacket. If you do, many, many lives would be saved.
Why don't people wear them?
Well, people will say, oh, they're hot, they're ugly, I ruined my suntan.
So really,
That's really probably the
pretty
top.
pretty lame
Yeah.
reasons.
Life jackets now are really have come a long way, and since the old orange horse collars. If anybody's ever been to summer camp, you've worn one of those.
Or be on a cruise ship.
What cruise ship? Yeah. But of course, that's a little different water than if you're out.
Well,
on
I'm talking
Chautauqua
about,
Lake.
but they give you this horse collar
Yep.
thing, and it looks really good on you.
Yeah, but it's going to save your life. If you're
I'm
alive,
good
you're
with
not
it. I'm
going to
good
care
with
what
it.
you
I'm good
look
with
like.
it. I know where it is when I'm
Yeah.
on those ships.
But now they make life jackets which are attractive and useful and comfortable, and you can adjust them. I have a kayaking life jacket on right now. I'm primarily a kayaker, my choice for boating. And if you are indeed a kayaker, wear your life jacket. Those 3 words, we can go.
Now, is there any kind of safety training for kayaking?
There's no mandatory training, but if you indeed are a kayaker, it's good to have some education, paddle with people who are experienced, go to an outfitter and paddle with them. The American Canoe Association offers kayaking classes, as does New York State Parks. So once again, go to that parks website. We do some kayak training. You will be able to find some classes up in the Niagara area that are offered through us.
I think kayaking used to be like, for the people that lived on the fringe. I remember growing up that kayaking was this fringe thing, and now it's really mainstream.
Oh,
I mean, lots of people are going down Kinzu and down the creeks and things like that.
Yeah, no, it's very, very much mainstream. Everybody loves to kayak. And the kayaking has exploded, as has the stand-up paddleboarding, which has gotten very popular. And I do want to say, for the stand-up paddleboarders, you are a boat, and on any boat, you are required to have a life jacket for every person on board. So I'm on your stand-up paddleboarder in my kayak, have to have a life jacket on board. We go back to the Wear It campaign. We would love to see you, would encourage you, particularly on the small paddlecraft, to wear your life jacket. The other is you have to have a sound signal.
Sound signal.
Which a whistle will fulfill that.
This is for kayaking.
And this is for all boats.
Oh.
Including kayaks and paddleboards.
Okay.
So those of us who are paddlers have some legal requirements on board that we have to have a life jacket and we have to have a sound signal, which a whistle is good. Going back to the life jacket safety piece is I like to encourage everybody to have a whistle on their life jacket. Your life jacket floats, you don't. So in theory, you have it on. You end up outside the boat unexpectedly. Your life jacket's going to float you. You're not going to have to swim. You can, and plus, if you end up outside your boat, it's not a swim. Most people who drowned are swimmers, and most people who drowned, the only problem with them is they're no longer in their boat. So for some reason, their boat has capsized. It's swamped. They've fallen out.
Right, tipped.
And they're in the water. There's nothing wrong with them except they're no longer in their boat, and they can't swim long enough, keeping their mouth and nose above the water, in order to get back in their boat themselves, or to have somebody pick them up and get them back in their boat. So the life jacket is a very important piece for that, and you really need to have it on. It takes a while to get it on, and if you're floating in the water and it's floating away, you might not be able to get to it. So it's my over and over. You can't say it enough times to just wear your life jacket. And I'd like to just point out my banner here. Wear it because someone on shore loves you. It's easy to say, I don't want to put on, it's hot, I'm only going out 100 feet from shore, I can swim, the water's not too deep. But people all drowned in those kind of circumstances because they end up in the water and for some reason they can't swim long enough to be rescued. Put your life jacket on, because somebody on shore is going to miss you if you don't return. So a safe day on the water is never ruined by safety.
Okay, we have a phone call, and I thought we were screening our calls. Someone just told me I got a maniac on the phone.
Oh boy.
Is that true? Who is this?
Yeah, hi, Doc. Steve Gustafson here.
Oh, of the 10,000 Maniacs.
Yeah, it's one hat I wear.
One hat you wear, but not today.
Well, I wear all hats all the time, but
I've noticed that.
most of my mornings I wear one hat and then I flip it over and turn it inside out and I put on my rally hat to get through the day.
So, Steve, I contacted you and said, give me a call. And so what's going on? I know something going on. You're doing something at JCC, right?
Yeah, with the JCC Uncommoners, which is the organization that supports and presents the musicals and plays at the Sharman Theater.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing our first ever musical during the summer.
Uh-huh.
We've never done this before, so it's been quite a challenge considering most of the colleges closed down during the summer, trying to get help from someone, and of course no one's around. But
corralling cats.
So we had this idea, and we're producing this this musical called The Last 5 Years, which is a delightful and sad story of a 5-year relationship between two people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Kathy is a aspiring actress, and Jamie is a young writer, and they meet and have a 5-year relationship. And Jamie tells the story to the audience from the beginning to the end of the relationship.
Okay.
And Kathy tells the audience the story from the end to the beginning. And in the 90 minutes that the show runs, they meet in the middle, and their stories, sort of meet in the middle of their relationship.
Huh.
So for the audience member, it's a lot to sort of wrap your head around.
Uh-huh.
But we've got 3 really strong. We had so much talent and so Uncommoners alumni that auditioned. Very, very strong singers and actors from the area that we decided to do, instead of just one couple doing the 6 shows, running this week, 3 this weekend, and 3 next weekend. There's 3 couples.
Wow.
And so each of the couples are do 2 shows in the 6 show run that we're doing. But they're all in each show.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're not the Jamie and Kathy, they play supporting roles.
That's
and
cool.
and the other thing that's sort of unique about what we're doing is we're presenting the show in a black box theater. Basically, we turned the Sharman stage into a black box theater, and so the audience is on stage with the actors and with the musicians.
Okay, I've seen that done before. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so we've set up sort of kind of stadium seating, risers for rows of chairs, and then we have on the sides we have cocktail tables with tall chairs to sit on. We have some wicker chairs down front for people to sit on, and so you're very, very close to the actors. They're going to be singing right in your face, and we opened last night, and we had near sellout show. We can only sell about 65 seats to each show. That's all the room we have.
Okay.
So we had a really good showing last night.
Great.
The show's terrific. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. On a rainy Saturday night, it might be just a wonderful thing to do.
Steve, how much tickets?
General admission tickets are $20.
Mm-hmm.
Senior tickets and JCC FSA members are $15, and area students are $10.
All right, awesome.
And the Friday, Saturday shows are at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunday matinees are at 2. And what's the other thing that's a first time for us is we've got the Coach's Corner from down on 2nd Street in Jamestown, our catering, and we're having beer and wine available to the audience members. So when you come in for an hour before the show starts, you come in, you could grab a beverage, an adult beverage or a bottle of water, walk up on stage. The band is playing for you, entertaining you. You can walk around and mingle and talk to guests. So you're standing right in the set.
Cool.
And then when we start, everyone sits down, and the show's over before you know it.
All right. Well, Steve, thanks for calling in, and you're producing and directing this, right?
I don't direct. I just produce.
Okay.
I'm not that talented. All I do is pay bills and get and find the people who are talented to be part of it.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in, and best wishes for a successful run on this one. That, again, was last 5 years, right?
The last 5 years. I do appreciate it, Doc. Thanks for having me.
You know, anytime, Steve. You take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, so back to boat safety.
Back to boat safety. Well,
so we've got a willing.
I'm going to say
volunteer.
I want to get Randy to come on
over here,
and
Randall.
we'll talk life jackets a little bit more. I'm wearing the jacket that's called an inherently buoyant life jacket, so it's foam. I fall out of the boat, it's just going to pop me up to the surface, and I don't have to do anything except some.
And you have a light on there. I see a couple.
I've got a light, yeah, because if I fall off during night, I want to turn it on.
But those aren't water activated.
Yeah, this one is water activated. This one, the one on my back, I have to turn on. But so people can see me.
Randy,
I've got my whistle. Come on in
shy.
Randy. Randy is modeling a vest, a life jacket, which many people might find.
Sit down, Randy. Relax. You're going to enjoy this, no matter what.
Join our boat.
This is a life jacket.
This is a life jacket.
This looks like a skinny spaghetti, or what is it?
It is. Is that comfortable, Randy?
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. You can still get a suntan. Can you fish? Can you cast if you got that on? Could you row your boat? Yeah. One of the develops in life jackets, because we had said people don't like to wear them because they're uncomfortable or they're bulky, is this inflatable life jacket. And it has no inherent buoyancy, so if Randy falls out of the boat, it's not going to float him just by itself, but we'll do a little demonstration here. So he falls out of the boat there, and you might want to stand up, Randy. Bring in the water. Okay, so what this has is a little pull tab, and Randy, under your right hand.
Whoa! What's this for?
So this is an inflatable life jacket.
All right.
And actually,
no, we were going to have him talking.
Not supposed to talk.
Okay, not supposed to talk. Okay.
You can give me screaming.
But the inflatable life jacket has a CO2 cartridge on the inside, and when he pulls that tab, it will inflate. There's also, this is a manual one, so he has to actually pull that. There's also manual and automatic, so he falls in the water, maybe he hits his head, maybe becomes disoriented. There's a little tablet that dissolves, and then it automatically opens.
So this is for anybody?
And this is not approved for anybody under 16 or for people who are non-swimmers.
How about weight?
Well, the nice thing about this one for our big boaters, it has what's called 35 pounds of flotation, and a normal person most people, not a normal person, most people can be floated with their head above water in calm conditions with about 8 to 10 pounds of inflation. The jacket I have on is 15.5 pounds of inflation.
So you're great.
So that's going to hold most people up. That is 35. We talked about the cruise ship life jackets. Those are type 1. They're the safest. They have 35 pounds of flotation.
So Randy's going to do something.
So
now.
Randy is going to fall in the water.
Let's get a camera on you. Right. Better give her the microphone. I don't know what's going to happen here. So we got to assume Randy's in. Oh, turn around, Randy, so people can see how you're wearing it. So it's just kind of like a.
It's a vest style.
Vest style.
Yeah, vest style. So he falls in the water, and says, "I'm going to have to pull my jacket. Just give it a nice tug, Randy." So you see how quickly that.
Come here.
Okay.
That's really firm.
That's really, yeah.
Okay, Randy, if you come on over here, there's an inflation tube, which will give him a little deflation so that he can breathe. That tube is meant so that you can adjust the air in it. You can see the CO2 cartridge now. Can you point to that, Randy? There.
Oh, here it is.
The CO2 cartridge,
Where did that come from?
That was folded up in the jacket.
Oh, I never saw that.
And you saw the jacket was red on the outside. Now he's yellow, so it's high visibility. He's floating in the water.
Oh my gosh!
He's got some patches on there for,
right.
Yeah, because when little science in there when the CO2 goes out, from that little thing to the big thing, it cools it right off. He's got some patches that are reflective, so if he's looking for him at night, it'll reflect. It also, because of the pillow behind his head there,
Keeps his head up.
will keep his head up and will float him face up. So
Okay.
if he's unconscious or having difficulty staying face up, that will hold him face up. My jacket will not. I'll have to be able to continue to swim in order to be face up.
Okay, well, Randy,
This would work pretty good for people that are panicky too, right?
Well, if you can float, then you don't have to panic.
Yeah.
You're not going to panic if your face is above the water, your mouth and nose. Another thing that we do say for people with life jackets and boating is try out your jacket before an emergency. So you can say, yeah, I know, this will hold me.
all right, so if Randy wants to use this again,
Yep.
what do you do?
What he's going to do, what he's going to do, and what I'm going to do at the end of the show is I'm going to take that CO2 cartridge out, and I'm going to put a new one in.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see on here. There's a little red mark here. I'm going to put a little pin in that's green. Most of the jackets, and there's different styles, will have a green indicator that says your CO2 cartridge is good. And if you see red, then that's a sign that you've got to make a change on your jacket. The reason they're not approved for kids is because they do take a little care, that you want to make sure when you put this jacket on, you check your indicator and say, okay, I got a good cartridge. You don't have to do that with an.
So this is the recommended life jacket now?
It's a choice for people. Depends on the kind of boating you do. You don't wear this jacket if you're doing towed sports. So if you're doing water skiing or tubing, not recommended.
Right.
Not recommended for personal watercraft, because you don't want to hit the water and have that open up. So you have to choose your boating and choose your proper life jacket. But if you're a sailor, if you have a bigger boat, if you're an adult taking your kids out, and you want to set a good example, and we love parents to set a good example, that if we always put our kids in jackets, but as parents and grandparents, I think we should put ourselves in jackets so we can keep our kids safe. This is a great alternative because, as Randy said, it's comfortable. It's a little bit cooler.
So how do you deflate?
And then the deflate here, or the inflate, is this little tube, and you just put your finger in there, and it'll. You have to.
Okay, Randy. Yeah. Well, thank you for modeling that.
Nice
life
round
jacket.
of applause for Randy, our safe boater.
Okay, so let's continue on.
Yeah, thank you, Randy.
Oh, wow. So cost-wise, that compared to the typical orange thing.
Okay, if you want to buy that horse collar type 2, which is also will turn most wearers face up,
okay,
you're spending $5 or $6.
That's it.
So
we're
it's
talking
a good,
cheap safety here.
For that style jacket. Now a jacket like I have on, here's another style here. That's also a paddle jacket. These will run 80 to 100 or more, depending on features and what kind of boating you do. The jacket that Randy has on will run somewhere between 80 and 200, depending on the features and if it's an automatic or if it's a manual and automatic.
It's cheap insurance when you're out on the lake.
You said it best. It's cheap insurance. If you ever had to use it, you'd be like, oh, that was good.
All right, we got a second caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Hey, Linda.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Ro.
Good morning.
It's very interesting to hear all the things you've got to say about water activities.
Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of stuff here. I didn't know there was these kinds of life jackets.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on things. The boating safety course is actually 8 hours long. We only have less than 5 minutes left to talk. So there's lots of things we could talk about.
Yep.
What would you like to know today?
Well, I think you've touched a lot of it, and I'm going to watch it again when it's the tape version. But it's so glad that you're really addressing this issue of water safety, especially on Lake Chautauqua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and it's those simple words as if we can just convince people to wear your life jackets.
Yes. Yeah. On the Titanic, they didn't have enough lifeboats. You know that.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
That's why so many people died.
Oh, dear.
They did not have enough lifeboats because they thought it was an unsinkable ship.
So, Linda, what's up in your world?
I just want to say that we've got our computer class going on at the Ohio Library. It's going to be starting up again soon at the Patterson. We have openings for people to come for training, and they should contact me with our senior employment program at the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging.
There you go. All right.
And the number is 753-4471, and we're on Facebook, too.
All right, super. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, and we're going to keep talking about boat safety here.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Have a great week. A happy Father's Day.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
You. Yes,
All
bye.
right. So let's keep going.
Well, okay. Well, go back to life jackets for just some of the legal requirements that folks will want to know, because you had brought up that perhaps you could get ticketed. Is that anybody under age 12 is required to have a life jacket on.
Wow.
So for your kids under 12, must have a life jacket on. And when you're choosing a life jacket, it needs to be properly fitted, has to be properly enclosed, so the zips and the clips and the ties all need to be in good shape and need to be adjusted so that it's snug on your body.
Probably inspected once a year, because a lot of times we store things in our garages and little critters get in there and like to chew on stuff, don't they?
Inspect it always and make sure things are right. If they're not right, you need to throw them away. With the kids' life jackets is that they have to fit. It's not like buying a winter coat or shoes where we try to buy them as big as we can to get some use
They'll
out
come
of
right out of them.
That the life jacket needs to fit, because if it doesn't, it'll pop right up. If you can see on this one, my life jacket is nice and snug, doesn't go over my ears. That's the test. Same thing with kids is to check that, because then once you go in the water, the jacket will pull you up and not pop over your head. So kids under 12, and once again, letting parents, mom and dads, grandma and grandpas know your law can be stricter than New York State law. New York State says under 12 must wear a life jacket. Your boat, you can make your rules, and as we've been saying, we encourage everybody to have a life jacket on.
Absolutely.
So kids under 12 must have a life jacket. If you're riding on a personal watercraft, the wave runners, jet skis, Sea-Doos must have a life jacket on. And you want to open up your life jacket, and when you purchase it, take a look at the label, because it gives you all the information about the jacket that you need to know. And if you read my kayaking jacket, this says it's not approved for towed sports, so not for use on a jet ski, not for use on a tube or water skiing.
Well, that's good to know. You really need to check that out.
Yeah. So you want to get a jacket that's approved for towed sports and personal watercraft. So check that label. It means that it's been engineered, that the buckles and the zippers and the materials will withstand. They've been strength tested, so they'll withstand a crash into the water, and it won't peel off your body.
Okay.
So that's one of those things where it's the right jacket for the right kind of boating. So personal watercraft, everyone must wear them. If you're in a towed sport, so you're tubing, you're water skiing, air chair, parasailing, anything that you're behind the boat, the person behind the boat must have a life jacket on, and one approved for that kind of sport. And the last legal time for folks to wear a life jacket is the cold water life jacket law, which is wearing a life jacket from November 1st through May 1st on any boat less than 21 feet, and that's anybody. So that's law for if you go out between November 1st and May 1st in a boat less than 21 feet, everyone must be in a life jacket.
I have never heard that law before.
It's unfortunate. You should have had me several years ago. That's been around for a few years. Cold water is particularly dangerous, that if you fall in the water and the water is cold, you have a gasp reflex, so depending on where you gasp, if you gasp underwater, that may be all it takes is to fall in and you disappear. So the life jacket becomes very important. At parks, we also like to recommend that if the water is less than 70 degrees, and you're not already regularly wearing your life jacket, choose to wear your life jacket, because the water is too cold for you to sustain yourself in the water for very long.
Seems like a simple answer to all this. Forget all the rules, just wear your life jacket.
Wear your life jacket. We like that. Yeah, we like
that.
Make
it simple.
You're the new educator. Just
I got
wear
my
it.
little life jacket right here, and I'm going to remind everybody about that throughout the summer. How's that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
well,
we're down to half a minute or so. What are the closing comments you want to make? We're going to have to do this some more.
We're going to have to do this some more. Okay, 5 things to stay alive while boating and also to have fun. Okay, and is guess what? Wear your life jacket.
1, got it.
Okay, take a boating safety course.
2.
Okay. Know the rules of the road. We didn't even get to those. That there's actually ways that boats interact out on the water, but know the rules of the road. You'll get that in your boating safety course. Leave a float plan. If you're going out on the water for the day, write down where you're going, who you're going with, what boat you're taking, and what time you're going to return, and leave it with somebody who loves you on shore, who wants you back again.
For sure.
And then when you come back, cancel your float plan. So you're going to come back at 6 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock you call that person up and say, I'm back.
We're good.
If you're not back, they can call up authorities and say, I've been looking for Rose, she's missing, and it's now 7:30, and she's gone out on Chautauqua Lake, and she's out there at Prendergast Bay or wherever. So.
Guess what? We run out of time.
And the last one, boat sober.
No drinking out there. All right.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Great words of wisdom here for enjoying a wonderful summer out on our lakes. Thank you, Ro Woodard, for being my guest today. We're going to come back next year. We're going to do this again.
This was a lot of fun. I could
Let's
talk
do it
for
again.
a few more hours.
I can too. We'll do it again. Thank you, Randy,
Thank
for being
you.
our model. Folks, stay tuned next week for a pre-tape show with Brenda Burdick on lymphedema. And I'm Doc Hamels. We're going to be riding next week, so we won't be here. So don't call in. You can't get us. Happy Father's Day again to everybody out there. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the water. Take care now. Definitely.